Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Wednesday, December 16th, 2020, and it is a beautiful day out today. A little bit warmer than it's been, but still, I got to tell you, the cold is starting to wear on me. These cold morning runs are taking a toll, and I am tired. I am exhausted, but I don't think it's just me. I think the cold is also affecting my kids, too. We've been playing outside. I've been giving them lunch earlier during the day, and then their like normal recess time that they have built into their virtual school day. Instead of eating lunch then, we've been just going outside and playing in the snow every day, getting like an extra 45 minutes out there. And it's been wearing on them too. Both of them are like dragging their feet. They're super mopey. They both have toothaches, which I don't know if one of them has a toothache and the other one is having a sympathy toothache or what, but they both have toothaches. And like we're all just kind of like, it's definitely like the nearing of like the end of a semester of school. The kids are very much ready for like their winter break. So that's where we are here in this house. How are you guys doing? Let's say hello to everyone listening on the podcast version today. Hope you guys are having a good run, and everyone watching this after the fact. Hopefully you can make it sometime for a live stream, but even if you can't, maybe the time zones don't work out for you or your work schedule doesn't work out, I still appreciate that you're tuning in anyway. Thanks for watching. All right, let's see who's here. We had Carlos first in the chat today. Awesome. And then Chris coming saying this is the 1, 2, 3, 1. Yep. And Jay Pelican coming in third. Gary coming in from the Philippines. Good morning. Road Interviews is here. Good afternoon. And Jenna's here as well. Good to see you again. Let's see. Ooh, Carlos says there's a good amount of snow piled on the ground there. I think like on the East Coast is starting to get it now. I think now, right? I called my mom yesterday, and we did FaceTime, me and the baby. And my mom and dad were out hiking, so like that was cool. And then I was like, Mom, I think you guys are going to get a lot of snow. You guys have enough like food and stuff? It might be a couple of days where you guys get snowed in. And they're like, it's not snowing right now. I'm like, no, a snowstorm's coming. They're like, no, there isn't. I'm like, okay. All right. But I think they're going to be fine. They're fine. But I think, from the weather forecast, it looks like just crazy amount of snow is going to be coming in. And not only that, wind too. That looks like it's going to be intense. So hopefully you guys are all getting ready to get hunkered down. Chris Dyke says, it's a good thing I ate just from watching the air fryer vid today. Man, as I was making that, I was like, I thought I had taken like a lot of food eating footage. Apparently I didn't, because I just was like, man, there's not enough B-roll for this. I was talking for like 20 minutes and there's way too much me and not enough food in that video, but there was some tasty food in that one. So that one is interesting, as I expected. Like when you log into YouTube Studio, it tells you like, here's how your video is doing out of the last 10 videos you made. Whenever I do like a running meditation or a running motivation video, those usually are really low. And whenever I do something kind of like outside the norm, that's usually like pretty low too. The air fryer video is like 10th out of 10 in terms of performance by a lot. But I feel like there are people who are enjoying it, the people that are clicking on it. So I appreciate everyone that's taking a look at it. I'm not saying you got to go look at it, but I don't know if you've been looking for an air fryer. I feel like it's a pretty good video to watch. Philip Burns says, hi, everyone. It's sunny. Ooh, 53 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius. And with the dog. Awesome. Thinking of getting her some running shoes to protect her paws when it's either freezing / salty outside or when we're not running on soft trails. Yeah, my daughter was like, we need to get the dog some shoes. And she's like, I wish they made shoes for dogs. I'm like, well, they do. And I've had shoes for my dog before. He just hates them. He does the weird like floppy thing with his paws like the entire time he's walking. And so like this is how he like walks when I put boots on him. So it doesn't work. And like in the city in Chicago, there's salt everywhere. And like it's the purple stuff that's always like the worst on their pads of their feet. And so like I end up carrying the dog a lot in the winter. Like I'll pick him up, put him down in the grass to like go do his business, and then I'll pick him up again, because otherwise by the time he gets back, like he's like doing the lifting up his paws thing because his feet are so cold. And then when I touch the pads of his feet, they're just like ice cold. And then he spends like the rest of the day like licking his feet. So I'm like, that's not right. So I wish I could put shoes on my dog, but he just will not tolerate them. Although I suppose it's been almost a decade since I've tried that with him. So maybe he'd be up for it now. But I mean, right now out here, there's a little bit of salt that Grandpa put out on the walk. But other than that, he can avoid salt all day long. So he's okay. But I don't think it's a bad idea for the dogs, especially with the winter conditions. Like if they got their feet wet and then, kept running, that could be pretty painful for them, I guess. All right. My mom is here. Where is she? Hi, Mom. Mom, hopefully you do have food and stuff. You're okay getting ready for that snowstorm. I think it's coming in. And it says Pip uses shoes when she has a sore paw. Okay, once she gets going, they work well. Good. Rigson said that's really interesting. The food videos get better traction than regular run videos. No, it's the opposite. I misspoke. Like it's 10th out of 10 is like the worst performing in terms of like the food videos. So like those do bad. Like because everyone's like, what is this? I don't understand it. So no one like clicks on it. If there's like a shoe, people know how to click on it. But like the food videos are like, no, I'll pass. And I don't blame people for it, but I also think that I'm hopefully capturing like other people too. I'm hoping like the algorithm can figure out like when my videos are like performing poorly, it's meant to a different audience. So like the normal people that would click on my thumbnails aren't going to be clicking, but maybe other people might like it. So hopefully that works. My mom said the snowstorm just started in Fort Lee. So it's getting there. All right. And Philip says you can't really carry around his 50-pound dog though. Yeah, my dog is like he's supposed to be 15 to 20 pounds, but he's normally around like 23, a little bit under 25 pounds. So I feel like he's old. He's 12, so I'm not going to put him on a diet. Although I did put him on grain-free food a little while ago, grain-free senior dog food a little while ago. So. But yeah, I can't imagine carrying around. I mean, that's like a big carry. Me, I'm like carrying my dog like this. Sometimes I hold him like a football, but a dog like that, you'd be carrying this way. Carlos Rivera says, thoughts on recovery slides? Very odd step and feel. I love recovery slides. It's too cold for me to wear them right now, but in the summertime, like the moment I get out of my running shoes, I just want to be in those if I got to be in shoes at all. So yeah. Carlos says, what breed is your dog? He is a French bulldog mixed with a puggle. So it's kind of an unusual breed. Frank says, the huge contingent of air fryer YouTube enthusiasts are going to take over the live stream. If you're here in the live stream today because you saw the air fryer video and it's like your first time seeing the air fryer, like me in a video, like let me know, put like a fire emoji in there or something. And I'd like to just give a special thanks to those. I won't like call you out unless you want to be called out, but I'd like to say special thanks for all you guys that saw me make a video about an air fryer and like, I want to hear more from this guy and tune into the live stream. That'd be great. Servando Briggs says, hope all is well. What are your thoughts on stance socks? I'm wearing a pair of stance socks right now. Actually, these are stance socks. There it is. The stance socks. I like them. I like them quite a bit. These are merino wool, which I feel like I love merino wool as like a performance fabric for every other part of my body except for feet and neck gaiters. So like wool neck gaiters, I don't like. They're too hot. They get really wet for me. And then on my feet, I don't notice a difference. My feet still stay just as cold as normal. So, but otherwise, like the stance socks generally though are really good. One of my favorite pairs of socks that are low cut is a pair of stance socks right now. I feel like, a lot of the low cut socks have that little extra like pad of fabric right on the Achilles part. I really like the way Stance does it. Belega socks, it's more of like a puffy like nub. The Stance socks, it's more of like a pad, and so I just kind of like it a little bit better. So like it's really good. Jordan Topham says, "Oh snap, Mama Kofuzi lives in Fort Lee. I was in Cliffside Park. Oh cool. Before I moved to LA, intrigued by the air fryer video. Awesome. Yeah, they live in Fort Lee now. They lived in Fort Lee." Then they moved down towards near where Trump's like Central Jersey golf course is. Like I went to go visit them. They lived in a like retirement community down there, and I couldn't fly my drone when I was down there because Trump was on a golf trip that weekend. So it was within like 30 miles of that, I guess, or 20 miles of that. And then they moved back up to Fort Lee. They lived up in did they live up in New York? They lived up in New York for a little while too. And then they're back in Fort Lee, I think. So they've been all over kind of in that area. So yeah, very cool. Cliffside Park. I knew you were in New Jersey for a while. I always thought though that you were on the Pennsylvania side. closer to Philly. So maybe I got that. I don't know why I thought that. All right. Spence Ohm says, what up, friends? First run yesterday after 6 weeks off recovering. Nice and easy, 2 miles. Boy, did I miss it. Well, let's get a cowbell going for that, Spence. Glad to see that you're back out there. That's awesome. I'm glad that it was nice and easy. Could have gone another way. So awesome. Timothy Bett says, maybe you should pivot to selling Kofuzi air fryers, cooking with Co. I used to have a blog called Cooking with Co's. It was like me and my wife. You could probably still find it if you looked it up. I would take a lot of pictures of this food I was cooking. And as I was making a lot of the footage for this air fryer, it just reminded me of like those times. Because back then I had a little Canon PowerShot Elf, and it was always covered in flour all the time. And yesterday and the past couple of days, as I was making that video for the air fryer, like the GoPro was constantly covered in flour, and it was like a nice nostalgic moment. But I think that that's such a crowded field that like I think even if I were to pivot a little bit and make it like the running nutrition thing, there's still so many people that make that a very crowded field. For example, like Shalane Flanagan has like her own cookbook, and she's a world-class marathoner. I'm just a dude that likes pizza a little bit too much, so it's like a little different. But I've always liked food, and in my own kind of peculiar way too. As much as I kind of knocked the microwave in today's video, there was a time where, I still love the microwave, and I think it's a magic box. It really is, but because I have no idea how it works. But there was a time where I very seriously was trying to write a microwave cookery for one book. It was supposed to be almost like a gag gift / actually the recipes in here are pretty useful and the tips are nice, but it would have been a gag gift that you give to like a friend that just got out of a really bad relationship kind of thing. So a pretty narrow niche market, but that's the kind of thing that I've always wanted to do. But like a lot of the things that I would have done in the microwave, I now do in the Instant Pot. So I guess I could make like a use everything but your oven cookbook kind of thing. I could do that. I think that'd be kind of fun. But maybe it'll be like the anti-runners cookbook. That's kind of more my speed. But yeah, so that's why like when Jamie told me that like his first videos were like fruit cutting, I was like, no way, that really was it? Because I never made cooking videos, but like my earlier forays into social media were like food related as well, which I don't think I've ever told people that. People that know me in real life knew that, but yeah. Oscar's here. Good to see you, Oscar. He says, what's going on? Been a while. Glad I got the live stream. Good to see you again. How are you? How are things going in Texas? All right. Albert Long just got in from nice long run. Very cool. And let's see. Phil said something about, let's go up to what Phil said about, about insoles. Phil says, I've been experimenting with swapping insoles between my shoes. Wild how much that little bit of material changes the shoe. It is really surprising. So 2 things that I think are super surprising. And one of them is like an opinion that I've kind of has changed a little bit over time, is like how much 2 millimeters of drop makes a big difference. I was watching Seth's video on the Ghost 13 today, which I find it hard to believe that he likes that shoe. But, he likes the shoe, so amazing. But like the 12 millimeter drop, I'm just like, oh, this is crazy. I don't like this. And frankly, I really think that the stated heel drop of the Ghost is 12. But if I knew how to measure correctly, like what the drops are, I'm sure it would be higher than 12. I have a hard time believing it's 12. But going from 12 to 10 is such a huge difference. So that's one thing that I think is like an amazing thing that makes a big difference. And then like what you're saying about swapping insoles. Insoles are like less than 5 millimeters, right? So like they're super thin, even the most cushy ones. And ortholite versus non-ortholite makes a huge difference. And then let's go to what Martha was saying about that. Martha says, when I see people getting obsessed with 2 millimeter more drop, I have to wonder how insignificant it might be compared to what the insoles might add in the heel area. That's a good point, Martha. Because sometimes maybe that's what it is in the Ghost and other shoes like the Mizunos that have really high heel drops. it's not just that the heel drop is high, but it's also that they have like very thick insoles, at least heel padded insoles, and then maybe it dips down a little bit. So that's a good point too. Maybe that's what it is. Jana says, I'm just a dude who loves pizza a little bit too much. Well, aren't we all? Yeah. That's awesome. That's funny. Carl says, what's wrong with the Glycerin 13? You mean the Ghost 13? I don't think there's anything wrong with, yeah, Carl says, with the Ghost 13. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just, I ran in the Ghost 11 and I haven't run in them since, but I don't think that they change all that much. That being said, though, I do think that they changed it quite a bit for 13, not quite a bit, but for 13, because it used to be 2 different midsole materials, right? And they made it just one. Am I wrong on that? But I don't know. There's something about the shoe that I feel very disjointed when I run in it. So I feel like it's like a boom boom kind of shoe, not like a smooth shoe or not like a forefoot shoe. I feel like it's a clank 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 clank. I just can't run in it smoothly. It wants me to run in a certain way that I don't like, and so I've never gotten along with the shoe, and I just don't feel like it's comfortable or anything like that. So yeah, so that's all. I mean, it's like Seth was saying in his video, and I completely agree with him. It is one of Brooks' best-selling shoes, and it's probably one of Running's best-selling shoes as well. So people are buying it. Somebody's liking it. It's just not me. My running buddy loves the Ghost. He loves it when when a new Ghost comes out, because then it means he can get either the last year or even the year before that's Ghost at even cheaper prices, and he'll stock up. He'll just buy as many as he can. So yeah, David Litzone's here. Hello, what's going on, David? I haven't seen your new video yet. I didn't see it in my. I'll go look. Sorry about that. I'll have to go look back into my in the subscriptions feed, because you're not showing up in my like suggested videos yet. I don't know why. So I'll go back and I'll look for it. But he says he's nearly at 100 subs. Haha, do you remember when you were at 100? LOL. I do. I think before 100, I hadn't even met Seth yet. I think I met Seth when I had like 250 subscribers and he had 500. So that's when Seth and I met, like online, not in person, but like on the internet. And neither of us were making running content at the time. So, but I remember that first 100, it was super impossible. I remember being stuck in like the 20s or the 30s for like a week straight. And I was like, oh, geez, this is impossible. And then I was like, there isn't an award for when you hit 100. This is ridiculous. I think I had more than 100 videos before I had 100 subscribers, if I remember it correctly. So it was tough. The first 100 is tough. The first 1,000 is really hard, and then it just gets easier from there. So keep going, David. Remy says, looking forward to running in the storm tomorrow. Not looking forward to shoveling cleaning up after said storm tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, I think I would like the amount of snow that you guys are getting, but the winds that I've heard that you guys are going to be getting up there, especially where you are, Remy, I think that you guys are going to get the brunt of it, aren't you? Or is it not going to be too bad up by you? I don't know, but like I was hearing like 30-mile-per-hour winds. That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah. So be safe out there. This year with all the snow shoveling, I took all the snow that I did shovel. I tried to help. My in-laws are the type where they don't like it when you help, So it's like I tried to do some shoveling. They're like, don't feel like you have to shovel. I'm like, I'm gonna do this real quick. Don't worry. And they're like, no. So it's like a fight to help like around the house sometimes. So I did some shoveling and I took all that snow and I made we have 2 different like snow piles that I've been kind of like shaving into like a little bit of a luge sled run for the girls to go on today. And it initially started out with them sitting on their butts in the sled and they were going down. Then they were on their knees. And then today I had them like going like belly first, like in the sled. And then I had both of them like both belly down in the sled. And it was super funny. It was pretty fun to have the kids out putting that shoveled snow to good use. So that's what I've been doing with that. But, what's really weird is around here, I've told you guys about like the lawn mowing thing. Like everyone has to mow the lawn. Like if one person mows lawn, the next person has to do it too, because you don't want to see the difference in the grass heights. Here, everyone on this street, well, except for the one neighbor next door, but from here all the way down, everyone is retired. But by the time I got back from my run, I ran in the snow that day, and I got back maybe like 8:15. Of this and the next 4 houses down, 2 of them were already out and almost done, like shoveling their walks in snow. And I was like, none of these people got to go anywhere. Everyone's retired. What? Why are the walks all shoveled? And then like within 15 minutes of me getting home, my in-laws were out. Like they had the snow blowers out and they were out working. And I was like, I don't know why everyone's in such a hurry. Like nieces and nephews came up from their house. They live like, a quarter mile down the street. And they brought their shovels and like a snowblower and stuff. They came at 11 and they turned around because everything was already done. They were going to shovel everyone's driveways, but 11 o'clock was too late for this neighborhood. So it's interesting. It's very interesting around here. In contrast to Chicago, where it's just like, there's an ordinance that you have to clear the walkways and it'll be like weeks. And I'm just like pushing a stroller and 2 children on it, through snow that hasn't been shoveled and it's been trampled on for like couple of days, and I'm like, landlords not getting their walks shoveled. So like, I wish I could switch a little bit of that mentality. All right. Ilya Kim says, what do you think would make Saucony Endorphin Speed 2 a better shoe than the original Endorphin Speed? If they made it in black and gray, that would be a big step for me. I would love that. Number 1, just a color update. 2, take all that stuff off the back. There's like that weird plastic on the back there. We don't need any of that. You can get rid of it. I would say if the thing is, I think that's really it. Just do that. And I think that you got a shoe, just need minor updates and it gets even better. But I think the other thing to think about though, is if you're going to keep that 3 shoe set, the Shift, Speed, and the Pro, then I do think that figuring out a way to make the Endorphin Speed less awesome might be the right thing to do. If you want to make the set make more sense. So it depends on what you like. Do you like the one shoe at the expense of the fact that you're not selling as many Endorphin Pros? Or do you really care about the entire series? I think the entire series makes more sense if the Endorphin Speed becomes less versatile in a sense. And so maybe make the upper have a little bit more padding. All these things that I wouldn't like. And then have to make the Shift like have less armor on it too. I don't know why there's so much stuff on the Shift. So there's a couple of ways it could go. And my fear is that they're going to make the set make more sense and make the Shift less good of a shoe. So we'll see what happens with the next year, or if there even is another Shift. I know a lot of you guys here have really liked the shoe, but I mean, I guess I haven't seen any runners the last 6 months, but I'm not seeing it like on Instagram or on like Strava. I don't see people running in the Shift a lot. All right. Rigson said, Kofuzi, do you see yourself doing ultras in the future? Yeah. I mean, I've done one. I've done like FKTs. So I've done a 30-mile FKT. I've done a 50K by myself. So self-supported. I would love to do a race. There was a 100-mile race, an in-person 100-mile race, like 20 miles from here. But I didn't find out about it until like the day of. And not that I would want to do a 100-mile. I'd like to do I might do a 100K for 100 if I hit the 100K subscriber mark. I was thinking maybe at the 75K, that'd be an interesting one too. We're getting close to that. But that's a lot of miles. It's a long way to run. So that's something that I'm not sure of. In today's like the air fryer video, people are like, can you, this looks great, but can you put it in a running pack? And I was like, probably not, but I would definitely love to see one of these at like a later aid station in an ultramarathon. Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Can you imagine if you're like coming in and it's like a 100-mile race, you're on lap 4 coming in after like the 80th mile. And all of a sudden you're like, is that pizza rolls? I mean, that'd be pretty epic to have at an ultramarathon. Because imagine like it's like the middle of the night, you're drenched, you're exhausted, you think you're hallucinating. So you're like, there's no way I'm actually eating pizza rolls, but I smelled them, I see them, I'm touching them. I think that'd be pretty funny. I don't know. If I ever have like a crew, I'm going to suggest that they bring very long extension cords and an air fryer. Carlos says, Kofuzi, what were you doing before running vids? It's cool that you're at about 65K subs. Yeah, I was doing like urban dad stuff. So like, and not exactly family vlogging, but like family vlogs were really popular at the time, like 3-4 years ago. I guess they're still really popular. But there was a lot of mommy vlogs, and I was having a hard time like finding like my tribe, like my people that like who are also making videos I can like collaborate with, comment on their videos or commenting on mine. We're becoming friends. I found Seth kind of that way too, because he still does a daily vlog, but now it's running focused, but or a daily vlog from the perspective of a runner. Before it was just a daily family vlog. And so was doing that, and I was like, what's my point of view? My point of view is that like I'm not in the suburbs. I'm in a city. My kids live in the city. We don't have a car, that kind of thing. So that was like the point of view for the video. So there was a lot of videos of like us going to city parks, museums, that kind of thing. So yeah. Mr. Random says, I have the Ghost 13 and it is much lighter and softer than the Ghost 12. Ghost 12 is firmer and I have over 200 miles in it. Interesting. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to review the Ghost. But yeah, Malagran says, are you going to go full-time food vlogging? Probably not. That video took so much time to make. It's just like, it's one of those videos that I do like because it's like a multi-day project and it's kind of like every day, you're like doing a little bit of it, like grabbing a clip here and there. And then like at the end, it all comes together. That part's really satisfying, but like, I'm not so good at that. That's why like when people are like, you should make, or have you ever thought about making like a longer, like, more elaborate production or something that's bigger that you could submit to like a video, like a film festival kind of thing. And I'm like, no, because I just don't have like the endurance to keep doing those kinds of projects. I like, here's a pair of earbuds. I ran in it for 4 days. Let me tell you about it. Like those are the kinds of videos that I like love to make. And I think with food vlogging, I think it would really take a lot more testing and like refining. And I guess like maybe I'd get better at it, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I could go full-time food blogging. But my friend, or like my internet friend, Everyday Dad, I don't know if you guys watch him. He started out making camera videos. Well, he started out making like drone and reviewing the cheapest on Amazon. That was like a thing that was one of his bits that he did. And, he eventually became a pretty big camera YouTuber. And then he's pivoted now to computer hardware. So, people pivot all the time. And he pivoted after 100,000 subscribers. So it was like a big pivot. But, then his growth shot even higher. So, I'm never going to say no, but, I'm not currently planning on it. Right. What else we got here? Martha says, other than the Hyperion tempos, there's still that Revel, now version 4. Light, only 8mm drop, underrated, $100. Yeah, I think Jamie's been running in some yellow Brooks, right? Is that the Revel or is that I think it's not the Launch. I think it's the Revel. Jamie really liked the Revel. And that might be one that, that's the one that I've been thinking, like, if it had a GTX version, I would definitely pick it up. Like Brooks does the Ghost in a GTX version. So like if they did a Revel in a GTX version, I would definitely pick it up. But I mean, under $100 or at $100, that's a really good price. I've liked the Launch before. I've not bought one, but I've hopped on a treadmill in one before, and it was like, well, this is what I feel like the Ghost should feel like. It just feels like a good running shoe. And so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe I will. I would like to get to it, but still have a giant bag full of shoes downstairs. I got to get some more out the door. By the way, so like I've been giving my shoes. I normally just after 100 miles, I send them to charity. Lately, I've been sending them down the street to my sister-in-law's house. She's got 5 kids, 3 boys, and the oldest, who's a senior, the oldest boy. He's not the oldest, but the oldest boy is a senior in high school. He's long been much bigger than me, so it's no good for him. The second oldest boy, I think he also has bigger feet than me now too, and bigger. He's just taller than me. I think he's taller than me at this point too. Pretty close. The only one that I can actually use the shoes that I have to like potentially give to them is my godson, my nephew, who is my daughter's age. So he's 8, and he's a size men's 8 shoe. They grow him big here in Iowa. He's a big kid. Yeah, I mean, he's just been growing. He's been growing. I think he's been the same weight for like the last 3 years, but he just shot right up. He's super tall now. All right. And it says he's going to head out for a 5K with Pip. Awesome. Listening on the headphones. Cool. It's been a busy day, but I'm keen to get out for a run. We'll enjoy it out there. Matt Legrand says, "Oh wait, everyday dad." Yeah, I feel like people always give me a hard time about picking up too many cameras or something funny like that. Yeah, he makes fun of himself for not being that involved on Twitter, but I feel like he's on Twitter a lot, and that's where a lot of that comes from. He does end up buying like a lot of cameras, so that's where like that comes from. But yeah, everyday dad. He's if you can do it, I can do it, or if I can do it, you can do it. That's how he does it. And he goes, "Is this better than that?" Boom, let's find out. He always slaps the things together, or he smashes them on, not smashes, but like taps them on the table. It's pretty fun. It's really infectious. Like if you see that a couple times, you start saying like, "Is this shoe any good? Let's find out." But yeah, I've been watching his videos for years. Jeff Alley says, vlogging question. Do you know Korean Vegan? She's an attorney that lives in Chicago. She's vegan, obviously, and is a runner. I don't think I've never met her. I know of her. She runs, I think, for DW Running, or like she's coached by DW of DW Running, and so I've seen like a lot of the other runners that I know that are, kind of plugged into the Chicago running scene. If they've got like DW Running went like on a running camp, and like so like I saw her and some of her posts and stuff there, but they were all like cooking and stuff. So yeah, I've seen a lot of her stuff. She's a very accomplished attorney. She's a better runner, attorney, and cook than I am. So there you go. Everyone go follow vegan Korean Vegan. She's just kicking my butt in everything that I can do. But yeah, her food is beautiful. And her images are great of her food. But I've never actually met her. All right. Okay. Martha says, Jamie's gotten the launch. Okay. Yeah. All right. I do like that yellow color that he's got. It looks nice. Inspect My Gadget says, where'd you get your running start from? I started running in like the 7th grade. And I was a 800-meter runner. And then coaches quickly figured out I was bad at that, so they put me in the mile. And they quickly figured out I was bad at that, and then they put me in some of the jumping events. So I constantly like moved around from like event to event because I was pretty like mediocre to bad at everything. So, but I was pretty decent, I guess, for like my school, like the size of our school and like the conference we were in. I was decent. I never went to like a state meet or anything. So yeah, but at some of the field events, so that's where I got my running start from early on. And then I took a very long break after college. And then I got into distance running. All right. Brett Reed says, I love watching how to dress for cold weather vids. And they wear like 2 shirts and a pair of shorts for 0 Fahrenheit degree weather. If it's 40 degrees, I'm in full avalanche gear. Anyone else? Yeah, and you know what, Brett? I've been trying to figure that out. I mean, I've run in cold temperatures, but there are people that run in much colder. But I feel like I got my chops for running in cold weather, and I've been noticing that I've been coming back really sweaty, and I'm like, this is probably not right. So I've been trying to like wear fewer and fewer layers or more strategic layers, like making sure I have like a merino wool or tencel or the elastane fabric, something that's supposed to hold on to like body heat a little bit better while still being moisture wicking. And I think the last couple of times I've cut it too thin. And while I'm still sweaty when I get back, I think that the cold has really been like just wearing on like my core, and I've just been getting like unusually tired from it. And so like, yeah, I think that like some people will only put on like a couple layers in really, really cold temps, and it might work for them, but it doesn't work for me. I got to put on a little bit more layers. There's a video that keeps popping up in my Instagram feed, and it's from Under Armour's cold reactor gear. I forget what they call their cold weather line. And the commercial is pretty cool. I mean, I like it. And I like Under Armour cold weather stuff. I think Under Armour makes great cold. I'm actually wearing some Under Armour pants right now, some cold weather pants. But I like their stuff. But like the ad is supposed to be like cold weather running. And the dude doesn't have a hat, doesn't have a buff, doesn't even have gloves on. And I'm just like, you want me to, I mean, it's for a commercial. Just pretend for like the couple of minutes that you're running that it's cold out. I get it. It's probably being shot in like 50-degree weather and the dude's probably hot, but like just pretend you're making a cold weather commercial. So that always kind of bothers me. So I guess I get bothered by the opposite of or I guess maybe it's the same thing as what Brett's annoyed about. But yeah, I think there's better ways to kind of capture some of that stuff. Robert Long says, craving for a hot bowl of ramen noodles after my run. That's me like after every cold run. I could always go for some noodles. Remy says 2 shirts and shorts and cold temps. I don't know anyone like that. Remy's still rocking, I think, the 2-inch shorts still this time of year. So, and he's in New England, so it's not like it's not like he's running in like Charleston, South Carolina or anything. So I really don't know how you're doing it. It's amazing. Right. Will Willing says, just did my first run in the Rocket X. I think I'm going to run in the Rocket X this weekend. I think I'm just going to go for a long run. I don't think it's going to be a huge workout, but I do want to go for something longer than I've been doing. I've been doing like up to 13 miles. I think I need to get something longer in there. And I'm thinking I'm going to bring the Rocket X with me. I think that'll be a fun one to try. All right. Yef Corman says, cold weather requires good underwear. I use Odlo and Craft Stuff for skiing and cycling where the wind chill is crazy. 2 layers is enough. You know what I will say though, it depends. Like 2 layers can be enough for certain materials. Craft Stuff generally falls into that category for me. I love Craft Stuff because it's built for like the wind, right? Because they're cycling and like cross country skiing is also part of their kind of like legacy. So I do think that their stuff is really good. I'm not familiar with Odlo. I also got the new Gore-Wear jacket. It has Gore-Tex on it, so to keep like moisture out, but also Infinium, which is their like inner lining. So it's like a super thin jacket, and it looks warm. And you're like, okay, but it's not puffy. It's not super thick. But I got hot in that, like a long sleeve and that jacket, and I was still sweating, even though it was like 15 degrees out. So like that is some serious technology in that. So that's something where like two layers and I can go single digit temps for Fahrenheit. Yeah. Kid Icarus says, best quality massage gun. I think best quality massage gun. I reviewed a massage gun called the Shogun Ninja Pro. Or the Ninja Shogun Pro. I think Shogun Ninja Pro. That one is nice. I'm sure like Theraguns, I'm sure those are really nice too. They're really a lot more expensive than anything that I've reviewed. I think probably twice as expensive as anything I've reviewed. And I'm sure they're worth it, but I'm just not that interested in them. So I don't know about those, but the Shogun, I think that motor was really quiet. There was only 3 speeds, but you don't need that many speeds, in my opinion, for those massage guns. The motor was nice and strong. Battery life was nice. Ergonomically, I felt like it worked really well. So in terms of quality, I like that one. It's a little bit more expensive. Overall, I think my best value massage gun, I like the Bob and Brad one. That's the only one that I bought with my own money. But that one, I feel like the weight, the ergonomics are pretty good. The motor strength is really great. The noise level is a little bit noisy, but that's okay for me. But like price to performance, I like the Bob and Brad branded one. That one's a really good one. All right. Shannon says, I find winter tights so restrictive. I hate when the crotch sags and I'm pulling at it like Michael Jackson. But I wore tights today because it was a mix of snow and rain, and I really don't like wetness. Yeah, I've been having a problem with that lately too. I don't like the crotches sagging in my tights. Does it? I mean, I guess Shannon's having the problem. I'm having the problem. Anyone else having that problem? I'm not sure what's going on with that, because tights that normally have fit me very well are all of a sudden like getting uncomfortable and causing some chafing. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's now that my glutes are activated. These pants are fitting on me different. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening. But like, yeah, it's been some uncomfortable showers lately. I think like last Sunday's workout, I came back and I got in the shower and it was one of those where it's like you like kind of just dip into the water real quick and it's like because it's burning, and then you like get a little bit more and you're like and you have to eventually like ease into it because like when the water hits that chafed area, it's so painful. Brett Reed, saggy crotch and air fryers. Welcome to the Kofuzi Run Club. Yeah, pretty much. That's right. Not really Hank sense. No sag here. Yeah. Frank says, I prefer tights with a drawstring. I do too. And the ones that I was talking about today, they do have a drawstring. And I'm still having that problem. I don't know what it is. Not really Hank says, nut butter. I don't really ever have to use it. I bought one stick of it like years ago. And it's like I don't just use it that much. So maybe I do need to get some of those. James Baker says, I usually wear tights, not because of the weather, but the compression on the calves helps. Need to get myself some calf sleeves. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the compression. I like it. I think like my favorite like kind of running pants are like, I don't mind if it's like a track pant up to the knee, if it's even a little bit baggy up to the knee, but from like the knee down, I do like to have a little bit, at least form fitting, if not compression. So like on there. So I do kind of like that. That's like my ideal cut. I mean, I guess like even for baseball pants, like if I were a baseball player, I wouldn't wear like the full pant. I would wear the pant that comes up to the knee and then wear the stockings because I just prefer that. I did that when I played baseball, which was like, rec league, you pay and you get to play kind of thing. This would have been early 90s. Last time I put on a baseball uniform. Yeah. Rainrunner's here. Says, I missed most of this again. Oh well, here for the end. Well, glad to have you here. I think you're trolling me now with the Jar Jar over there. Ugh. Yeah, I could definitely do without it. Yeah, Carl J says Adidas soccer football pants seem to work fine for me. I think that they're great. They embody like the cut that I like. Like it's kind of loose and generous through the thigh, and then from the knee down, it's like form fitting. It's like I always know that I can pick up a pair of like Adidas soccer pants, and I know that those will work for me to run in. And Remy says, you're all making wonderful arguments for 2-inch shorts. Ultimate freedom, minimal chafing. And yeah, but I mean, I think I'm going to freeze if I do that. Frankly, I don't know how you're not. It's crazy. All right. Let's do a couple more, and then I think I'm going to get going for today. I got to check on the girls. They've just been so mopey. I think they're just like kind of needy today. They're not sick. Hopefully they're not catching colds. I just think that they're really tired. But I spent all summer trying to like tire these girls out, like going on these nature hikes. Turns out just like some, below freezing temperatures and some sledding is all I needed. All right. Awesome. Let's do one more. A. Gordon says, and we'll end on this one for today. Have you heard of Icebug running shoes? Considering buying a pair for winter running. I've heard of them. I don't think I'd be able to like identify them. So like, I think like I've heard of like Seth mentioned them on his channel or something like that. So I'm really not that familiar with what they are. But for me, like I'm not doing anything crazy. So everywhere I'm going is pretty much roads. I might do a little bit of trail running, but I don't think I'll be able to really get into the trails till after the new year because regular gun hunting season ends like right after like Christmas Eve or something like that. But then it goes to like muzzle loading deer hunting season until after the new year. So I don't know how much trail running you'll be able to do, but it's cold. There's ice on these dirt roads out here. So that my trail shoes will get some use, but not on actual trails. So I don't think I'll need ice bugs. Everything's gonna be like for the most part, pretty well plowed. But I'll take a look at them and just kind of see what those are. All right. That's going to be it for today, everybody. Tomorrow's video is going to be about Alpha Fly versus the Adios, doing some marathon effort miles in them. We'll see how it did. Basically, I was really cold both times out in each of those shoes, but we'll try to tease out how I felt in each of them over the marathon mile. So that'll be tomorrow's video. And then tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow's Thursday, so I'll do some happy hour. I don't know if I'll have beer or I might have a different fizzy, like plop, plop, fizz, fizz kind of drink. We'll see. But either way, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.